Welcome back to another episode of the Bench Mob ENT podcast, the best sports podcast in New Jersey. We have a special guest on with us tonight, all the way from the College of Charleston Cougar, Naylee Cortes. How are you doing tonight?
Hi, how are you, y'all? I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to hop on with us. If y'all didn't catch it, I said Charleston Cougar. That means she plays basketball for College of Charleston. Shout out to y'all. Y'all off to a good start, 3-0. Couple of blowouts, putting some belt to behind. Y'all handling business, which I
Yes,
love
we are.
to see.
No, first of all, thank you for inviting me. Like, I love this opportunity, just talking to you, chatting to you. So nice. And actually, we're 4-0.
4-0.
Yeah.
Excuse me. 4-0.
Yeah.
Perfect start.
First.
I
Yeah.
love it. For you, right? We mentioned obviously that you play basketball.
Yeah.
So, when was the first time that you started playing basketball, and what do you love about it the most?
Well, I started playing basketball when I was like around 8, 9 years old. And I love basketball because I felt like I found a community. Because when I was start playing like sports, I started with like individual sports. I did some swimming, track and field, tennis, but those sports were like individuals. And when I got into basketball, I made like a lot of friends, and I feel like it was more about a team and not just myself. So I really like that about it.
I definitely could agree with that. A lot of my friends I've met through basketball. So,
Yes.
basketball is one of, to me, it's a little biased, but to me, is one of the best sports ever for that aspect
Yes.
for the community.
For the
Now,
community that you make, yes.
yes, of course. Now, for the College of Charleston, right?
Yes.
Was that your first choice of school? And like, how was your recruiting process that you ended up choosing the College of Charleston? What about it make you said, I want to go here?
Okay. Yeah, I had like a couple other options, but they were kind of far away. They were like on the East Coast. No, sorry, in the West Coast. Is
Hmm.
like was I don't know, I think it was like California, something like that. It was like three schools in California, one in Virginia, and well, another places, but they were kind of far away
Hmm.
from like Florida. That's where I went for high school. And I met like a lot of people on high school in Orlando. So I kind of like make a family there, and I didn't want to be that far away from that. So Charleston was kind of close to Florida. It's kind of close to Florida, and I love the city. I think I said this already so many times, but like Charleston is so beautiful. And it reminds me kind of home, It's so walkable, so you can walk everywhere, which I love. And I don't know, the people here is so nice. My coaches, I don't know, I feel like I click with them. I don't know, but like our coach Snyder, he's like Hispanic and his wife Puerto Rican. So I don't know, I feel like and I like a community too. And yeah, that's what I chose Charleston.
Hey, the community is definitely a huge thing
Yes.
in the decision making process.
It is a
Mm,
huge thing.
I still have to visit Charleston.
Yes.
I've heard a lot of great things about Charleston, but I have not been able to get out there yet. Definitely somewhere else on my list of places to visit. You mentioned, right?
Yes.
High school, you was in Florida.
Yes.
So before high school and in general, growing up in Colombia, right? Was the
Yes.
transition from Colombia to the States, how was that transition? And in regards of like you saying community, you have a community obviously back in Colombia, family there. How was that transition? And even now, do you get homesick still here and there?
Of course, of course. I mean, it was a really hard experience. Like, I moved when I was 16 years old, so young. Like, I left my home, I left my family, I left my friends. It was really, really hard transition. But something that helped is like the people that I live with, they were so, so nice to me and literally felt like a family like that. And also in my team in high school, I had like one girl from Colombia. So I wasn't just by myself. So
Mhm.
that helped me with the process a lot. And I was surrounded by people that was having the same experience as me. So I feel like we help each other in that aspect.
That's good to have that with you because I can only imagine if I had to leave the states at 16 by myself and go somewhere completely different. Shout out to you. I know a lot of courage, a lot of focus. Like for
Yes.
you, with that being the case, like you left at 16, your family didn't come with you.
No.
How do you stay focused? How do you stay motivated? Because obviously, I know you came here for a specific reason. How do you
Yes.
stay focused and how do you stay motivated being your family is so far away?
Yeah. I feel like when you dream big and your dreams are so big, doesn't matter what is the problem that you have in front of you, you know that you're gonna overcome because you wanna make your dreams come true. And that's the only thing I think about that. Like, that was after COVID, so obviously it was really hard. Um like I feel like COVID it was different from here to Colombia and like in different countries like it was so different. But in Colombia I it was really hard for me because I wasn't playing basketball like you weren't able to go out your house. Like literally you were locked in and you couldn't go out for like basically just for food. So I had like a meltdown. Like I was kind of like in a bad spot, we'll say, because I love basketball. I love basketball and not being able to play it for so long, it was really hard for me that I think like I became obsessed with it that when I got the opportunity to go like to come to States, I was like, yes, this is what I want. And it doesn't matter what it takes. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna make it worth it.
Shout out to you for that. I think we have the episode title right here. It has to be Dream Big. That has to be the title
Yes.
of the episode. Dream Big. Shout out
Yes.
to you for actually chasing your dreams and going forward to it. Because I say this to people a lot. A lot of people, and I'm sure you could attest to this, a lot of people have dreams and it just stays a dream. You have to actually put the action behind it,
Yes. Yes,
which
completely agree with you.
you actually did. And you said you love basketball. So I saw that you wear the number 11. Is there any significance in choosing that number, or it's just like, hey, I just picked 11?
No, 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 no. Okay. First of all, my favorite number is 9. Yeah, that's my number, and that's the number that I've played most of my life. But
Mhm.
when I get to high school, I don't know why you cannot pick those numbers.
Mm.
Like after 5 to 10, something like that. So I couldn't get number 9. So one of my favorite players, actually soccer players, not basketball, but it's soccer, and I love soccer too. So he's Neymar Jr. and he plays with the number 11 on the Barcelona. So I was like, you know what? Let me take that number because I love him. I love how like he plays. So yeah, I was like, yeah, let's get number 11, and I stick with it.
That's a good reason right there. He's really
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
really good at what he does. So
Yes, like I don't know if I consider like the best soccer player of the world because there are
Mhm.
so many good ones, but I just love how he plays and he makes you love the sport that he's playing. Like when you see him playing, you see like, oh my God, he's having fun and it's something that I want to reflect to. So I was like, yeah, you know what? Let me take number 11.
For this season coming up, did you have any individual goals that you were trying to set for the season coming in?
Yeah, of course. I feel like my role in the team is specifically like defensive. Like I feel like that's my strong side, and I want to be so good at it that it's gonna help my team to win, and we're gonna get a ring. That's my ultimate goal. Like get as much as rebounds I can. Make as much box outs I can so my teammates can get the rebounds. I don't know, like playing as a team and make my effort make my teammates do something good. I feel like this is my biggest goal this season.
I'd love to have you as a teammate. You just want to play defense. You want to do your role, help the team.
Yes,
You,
yes.
there's not many people that embrace what their role is. So I would have loved to have you as a teammate. So
Thank
that's
you.
dope. I know your teammates definitely love having you as a teammate for sure.
Thank
Growing
you.
up, starting at age 8, you have a love for basketball. Who were some players that you looked up to growing up?
Oh my God. I'm gonna share a story. I think you're gonna love it. When I was like, I don't know, around 10, 11 years old, my coaches made like a meeting, like for all of my teammates, like in our club, and he was like, "Hey, what is a player that you would like to play with, or do you admire, or you look for?" And I was like, "Oh my God, Diana Taurasi! Like I love her, and I would love to play with her, against her. Like it was a dream, you know. It was like something that you said when you're 10 years old." But later in life, I had the opportunity to play against her, and I feel like when that happened, that was a big moment for me. Like in my basketball career, I was like, "Oh my God, like I made it." Yeah, yeah. It was like a thing for me, you know? It was like, yes, I made for this. I know I know that all of the sacrifice that I made through my life are worth it right now because I'm making my dreams come true. So yeah, Diana Taurasi. That's my answer.
Hey, that's dope. That's a great option. Definitely one of
Yes,
the goats. You said you got to play against her. Can you share more about that?
of
When did
course.
that happen?
Okay, that happened. Actually, that was the first time I played with the national team, like the grown national team.
Mhm,
National team is divided by ages. So
mhm,
usually it's like 15, 16, is 15, 16, 17, 19, 20 in the upper like the seniors, we'll say. I usually start playing like in the normal ages, like 15, sorry, 14, 15, whatever. All of those ages. In that tournament, I got selected to play with the senior team, like with the best team like of the country. So I was so excited, and we traveled to Argentina to play for pre-qualifiers for the Olympics.
mhm.
And we got like in our group, it was like United States, Argentina, Brazil, and us. And yeah, I had the opportunity to play against her, and I had the opportunity to play against the best team of USA at that moment. So I don't know, it was like a big thing for me. It was an incredible moment.
That's huge. That's dope. I could only
Yes.
imagine the experience and to be able to do that. And like you said, the feeling of like, all right, I
Yes.
made it. I know I can actually do this.
Yes, and I play like I think in that team it was Kelsey Plum too. It was a
Mhm.
big team, like it was WNBA players. I was like, oh my God. Of course, at that moment I was like 17, 16. No, I was before to came to States. I was 17 years old. No, 16 years old. And it was a huge thing for me. It was, yeah, it was a big experience.
That's huge. That's big time. Sidebar, right?
Yeah.
How did that feel? Being that you were able to put the jersey on that represents your country. Like I know, and I've heard players talk about it. For you, what was those emotions being able to play for your country, and then eventually you're with the senior team, you're playing on the best level for your country for pre-qualifiers to get to the Olympics. What was that like?
Oh my God. You feel so nervous. I'm not gonna lie. Because you're not just representing your family, you're not just representing yourself, you're representing a whole country. So you feel like you have something on your back. Like it feels heavy, you know? But it feels so good when you are with your hand on your heart singing like the national anthem. I feel like it's one of those moments that you feel so proud of yourself and so proud of like how you overcome difficulty, and when you recognize the people that is around you and helping you. I feel like it's a combination of all of those moments, and that helps you to go and say, oh my God, what I'm doing is working. So yeah, I will say that sometimes I feel like it's so hard to explain that feeling because it's a combination of emotions, but it's a feeling that I think it's one of the best feelings that I ever felt in my life.
I don't think I'll ever be able to have that opportunity to put on USA on my jersey unless I'm wearing somebody else's jersey. So I had to live vicariously through you. Think that's really dope to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Now, you play basketball, and I say this pretty much with every guest I have, depending on what they sport is. You play basketball, but basketball is what you do, not who you are. Who is Naylee Cortes outside of basketball? Not touching a basketball, not at practice, not watching film. Who are you outside of basketball?
Oh my God, that's a really hard question because it's really hard to separate yourself from your sport. But I'll say that I'm a computer science major. I love to study. I love to go to class. I'm a little bit nerd. I mean, I love reading too. I love cooking. I'm a really good cook. I love cooking for others. I don't know. It's just a thing that I love. I don't know why. Um, yeah, I love to travel around the world. I think this is one of the things that I love the most, and I would like to be recognized for being able to travel around the world because I love to learn about cultures, about food. I'm such a foodie person, and yeah, I am. So yeah, I'll say that a person who loves to travel, a person who loves caring for the people that I love, and yeah, I'll say that. That's Naylee
That's what's
Cortes
up.
for basketball.
That's what's up. I'm a food. I cook for others as well. Not many people. I don't own a restaurant, nothing, but just a couple of people I like to cook for. Like not too big. You'll see later. We ask a question because I'm a foodie. I ask every single guest about food. We'll get to that later in the episode,
Okay.
of course. And Thanksgiving is coming up, so we'll talk about. It's not on the
Yeah,
list
okay,
of
okay.
questions, but being that you said you like to cook, I'm gonna have to ask about one of your favorite dishes. But
Yes.
before we get to that, we have one last question.
Okay.
Any advice you give to somebody that's watching this later, somebody that listens to this and says, "Hey, she made it. I think I want to do the same thing. She's playing collegiate basketball. She's played for Colombia at the highest level. What advice would you give to somebody watching saying that I aspire to be where you're at?"
Dream big. That's the best thing you can do. Like, no one can stop you by yourself. Like, your limits are determined by yourself first. And second of all, mental health is so important that you need to start to taking care about your mental health early in your life. So when you have moments that are really hard for you, you know how to overcome them, and you know how to react, and you know how to help yourself in those hard moments. So yeah, I will say those things: dream big and mental health.
Very, very, very important. The mental health aspect.
Yes.
School wise, athletics wise, you can't
Yes.
perform, you can't do the best that you need to be if your mental health is not in good shape.
Yeah.
Love that. As we already mentioned, the title of the episode is Dream Big. So love that aspect too. Fourth quarter segment. This is kind of more the fun segment, more of the get to know the person, little
Okay.
let
Okay.
down your hair. As I said, I eat for three. I'm a foodie. I love food. It may not look like it, but I eat for three. What is your favorite thing to eat?
Oh my God, Colombian food. Of course, that's gonna be my answer. Colombian food, but I'll say sweets. I love sweets. Like, oh my God, I can't stop. I obsessed with sweets. Yeah. Colombian food and sweets. I'll survive with that my whole life.
Yeah, I definitely just took like a 3 week break from sweets because that's how much I love sweets. Like I had to I gotta
Yes.
take a little bit of a break, Antonio. Like you,
But I'm an athlete, and sometimes I'm like, okay, yeah, I deserve it. Like, I run a lot today. Let me get this ice cream, or oh my God, I love New York cheesecake, or stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, I deserve it. I'm an athlete.
yes, yes, yes. That great justification right there for sure.
Yeah.
So, if you were able to talk to your 16-year-old self, what would you tell 16-year-old Naylee Cortes?
I feel like you already know. I feel like the people in the podcast already know the answer. Dream big. Dream big. Like, no one is going to stop you. And yeah, that'll be my thing. Dream big and work for your dreams, of course. You cannot just dream, you have to work for it. But, like, yeah, I'll say dream big. And also, I'll tell myself that you can be kind with yourself. Like, you don't have to be so hard with you, because when I was 16, I was doing like a lot, but I felt like I was doing nothing. And I was thinking, like, hey, you can be kind with yourself. It's okay to have your lows. You'll be back, but it's okay. Don't rush things. Yeah, those be they'll be a thing I'll say to myself.
I think that's very important. You got to be kind to yourself in the process, in the journey. You mentioned
Yes.
you love cooking. So, what's your favorite thing to cook?
Oh, my favorite thing to cook? Oh my god, that's so hard. Um, that's so hard because I really love to cook a lot, but I'll say baking is my favorite thing. I love bread. I love homemade bread. So I'll say bread is one of the things that I love to bake. Cookies, I love bake cookies. I don't know, it's such a hard question. A lot of Colombian dishes. I cannot pick one. Yeah, I cannot pick one. Tacos. I love to cook tacos. I don't know. You made such
Yes.
a hard question.
For Thanksgiving, do you celebrate Thanksgiving? Is there certain dishes you guys eat on Thanksgiving, or Thanksgiving isn't really a holiday that's big in Colombia?
Yeah, like Thanksgiving is a Colombian, sorry, it's an American tradition. It's not Colombian. But since I got here, I of course I've been celebrating Thanksgiving, and I don't know why, I love the mac and cheese. Like, I'm not gonna lie, before to got to States, I never tried mac and cheese, and I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with mac and cheese. So yeah, I think that'll be my pick from Thanksgiving, mac and cheese.
Okay, mac and cheese, I can
A
dig it.
good one, of course. It has to be good. Not
Yes,
everybody knows how to make good mac and cheese.
not everybody knows how to make it. That's facts.
Yeah.
Last couple questions before you hop off. Again, we thank you for taking time out of your schedule to hop on with us. Which superpower would you want to have? The ability to be invisible or the ability to read people's minds?
Oh my god, read people's minds. Read people's minds. Yes, I'm such a curious person. I like to know what people is thinking. Yeah, read people's minds, of course.
I think that's a pretty solid one right there.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you mentioned earlier that you love reading.
yeah.
What are some of your, if you had to choose off the top of your head, some of your favorite books that you've read?
Oh my god. Of course, 100 Years of Solitude is from Garcia Marquez. It's a literature, like a novel literature like winner. He's
Mhm.
from Colombia, of course. And I just love that book. It's like magic realism. It has like a lot of things that make you think about, and it's a hard reading. It's a hard book to read, but I feel like when you get done with it, it's like, oh my god, I read this book that is so big, has these so hard words that I maybe not know, so you have to kind of research about it. I don't know, it's like such a complete book, and that I really love it. That's my favorite.
All right. Okay. Last question before we get you out of here. If you were to win the lottery,
Oh my
what's
god.
the first thing that you're buying?
Oh my god, a lawyer and a financial advisor. If not, I'm gonna spend all my money. Okay. Okay, but like, okay, the real question, like my first purchase, it will be, sorry, my real answer will be a plane, like a private plane,
Mhm.
and the course to be a pilot, because I would love to be a private pilot, and I love to travel, so that'll be my first purchase.
I like that. I like both answers. I like the private plane, the ability to just be able to get up and go at any point,
Yes.
go to any country, visit, like you
Yes.
said, embrace the culture,
Of
embrace
course.
the food, all of
Yes.
that good stuff. And we tell all of our guests, this is your home podcast. So if you ever want to hop back on, you just had 8 blocks and the game winning rebound, you can, hey, hop back on. You can talk anytime. This is your home podcast now. We thank you for taking time out of your schedule. Y'all know the vibes here at the Bench Mob podcast. If you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. Bench Mob, we out. Peace.
Peace. Thanks for inviting me. Have a great day.